Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brendan Gillen. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. Je m'appelle Brendan Gillen. Je vous souhaite, au nom de l'Université McGill, la bienvenue à la collation des grades 2019, printemps, de la Faculté des Arts. Let me welcome you on behalf of McGill University to the 2019 Spring Convocation of the Faculty of Arts. The ceremony will begin in approximately 10 minutes. Dans quelques instants, je vous soulignerai les étapes principales dans le déroulement de la cérémonie. In a few moments, I'll go over the principal steps in the ceremony. However, now, let me ask you to join me in giving the Brian San Quintet a very warm round of applause. La cérémonie commencera avec l'entrée du cortège d'honneur et terminera avec son départ. Juste avant son arrivée, je vous demanderai de vous lever. The ceremony will begin with the entrance of the platform party and will end with its departure. Just before it arrives, approximately when the line gets to there, I will ask you all to stand. Une fois le cortège d'honneur est installé sur la tribune, la Dr. Tracy Smith-Bissett chantera l'hymne de l'université. Once the members of the platform party are in their places on stage, Dr. Tracy Smith-Bissett will sing the university hymn. Le chancelier Michael Meehan, aussi bien que la principale Suzanne Fortier, vous adresseront chacun un bref discours suivi par l'allocution de M. Michael Harris, qui aura tout juste reçu un doctorat honoris causa. Michael Meehan, the Chancellor, and Suzanne Fortier, the principal, will each say a few words, after which the convocation address will be given by Mr. Michael Harris, who will have just received a doctorate honoris causa. Après la remise des diplômes, Madame Oumou Kulsum Jumada Abdur Rahman fera le discours d'honneur. Once the diplomas have been conferred, Ms. Oumou Kulsum Jumada Abdur Rahman will give the valediction. Ensuite, la secrétaire générale Edith Ergauska fera quelques remarques de clôture et la Dr. Tracy Smith-Bissett chantera l'hymne national. After the valediction, the Secretary General Edith Ergauska will say a few closing words and Dr. Tracy Smith-Bissett will sing the national anthem. Le cortège d'honneur partira en premier, suivi par les diplômés, en commençant par l'avant et en passant vers l'arrière. Et un petit rappel aux diplômés, vous allez partir vers votre gauche, ma droite. The platform party will leave first, followed by the diploma recipients starting from the front and working towards the back. And just a reminder to the diploma recipients, you'll leave by your left, my right. Maintenant, j'invite le doyen adjoint des étudiants Glenn Zabowska à vous informer des mesures de sécurité mises en place dans l'éventualité très peu probable d'une urgence. I now invite the Associate Dean of Students, Glenn Zabowski, to apprise you of the safety measures put in place in the very unlikely event of an emergency. Glenn.
Bienvenue à McGill, and welcome to Convocation 2019. Félicitations aux diplômés. To all family and friends here today, a sincere thank you to all the support you've given your graduates over the years. And graduates, please don't forget to be thankful for others that have supported you, like Google, Tim Hortons, and Red Bull. As mentioned, my name is Glenn Zabowski. I'm the Associate Dean of Students here at McGill, and I have the real exciting role of telling you about our emergency evacuation procedures. I am also a statistics instructor here at McGill, so I do know a bit about probability theory, and don't worry, the chance of an emergency, we know, is quite low, but we want you to be all taken care of, just in case. Si une évacuation des lieux devenant nécessaire, le registraire en ferait l'annonce. Vous devrez alors quitter la tente sans tarder. Please follow the instructions of security officers and ushers. Don't follow the graduates. They're going to be evacuated to a different location. Ushers and security officers will lead you to the field across the street from the tent. Leave all baby strollers behind, but I will make a special request today that you please take your children with you. You may refer to the evacuation page, a map at the back of your program for more information. If you need assistance at any point in time, please speak with an usher or security officer. And once the emergency is over, information will be posted on our McGill homepage to inform you about what will happen next. Je vous remercie de votre attention. Thank you for your attention. Have a wonderful ceremony. I know the platform party is gearing up to come down from the Arts Building, but just first, we want to show you a very quick video. Thank you.
My name is Maria Gracia. I did honors in Latin American Studies and International Development.
My name is Akil Varani and I'm a visual artist and graphic designer based in Montreal.
Je m'appelle Guillaume Drouin-Garneau, je suis ancien de McGill. J'ai gradué en 2012.
Once I graduated, I really wanted to find a way to stay connected with the university. I did some research and found the McGill Women's Alumni Association. It really spoke to me because of their mission to highlight what female grads have been contributing to the community.
Ma participation au sein du club cycliste de McGill, je pense qu'on est une super belle gang, puis encore aujourd'hui, on voit des anciens, des jeunes qui sont étudiants, puis on fait des sorties ensemble, on partage une passion. Donc...
I've spoken at homecoming events, the McGill Young Alumni Association.
How I got involved with the mentor-mentee program with the McGill Alumni Association was actually I was trying to find a way to give my time to McGill.
I definitely recommend any mentorship program, whether it's having a connection to other people or advice from someone who's been through it.
Through McGill Connect, I was introduced to this global network of McGill alumni who I had something in common with. I made the decision that London, England would be best for me to kickstart my career.
I want to wish the graduating class all the best of luck.
This is the beginning of a very exciting new chapter in your life.
Bonne chance à tous, je vous souhaite du succès dans vos projets futurs. Have fun, enjoy the ride, and be patient.
Quelques rappels, s'il vous plaît, mettez vos téléphones cellulaires en mode vibration, encore mieux, les éteindre. Please put your cell phones on vibration mode, or better still, just turn them off. N'utilisez pas les issues de secours, sauf en cas d'urgence. Do not use the emergency exits unless there really is an emergency. And also, please keep the aisles free. Gardez les allées libres, s'il vous plaît. Donc, on attend que le cortège d'honneur, c'est presque sur le point de partir, donc ça va prendre peut-être 1 minute pour arriver jusqu'ici. À ce point-là, je vais vous demander de lever. So as you can hear the bagpipe, that means the platform party is assembling just in front of the building at the end of the way here. And I won't ask you to stand until they get to roughly to this point. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tracy Smith-Bissett. Good morning, graduating students, families, and friends. As Chancellor and on behalf of McGill University, I welcome you today to our beautiful downtown campus to celebrate the class of 2019 and the students graduating from the Faculty of Arts. Bonjour à tous les diplômés, proches et amis. À titre de chancelier de l'Université McGill, je vous souhaite la bienvenue sur notre magnifique campus du centre-ville, afin de célébrer la cérémonie de collation des grades 2019 et de souligner les réalisations des diplômés de la Faculté des Arts. Let me begin by offering my sincere congratulations to all of you. C'est un grand jour pour vous, nos diplômés, et c'est un honneur pour moi d'être ici et de partager avec vous cette étape importante. Now, I have a keen appreciation of the importance of this day and the memories you will keep with you for the rest of your life. Because once upon a time, when dinosaurs ruled the land, I was sitting in the audience, just like you. I took much the same journey as you have to get here today. And some considerable time later, I returned on 2 occasions as the parent of McGill graduates. And like all parents here today, I was beaming with pride. Et maintenant, comme chancelier, j'ai le privilège d'assister à des cérémonies et collations des grades à chaque année. Vous pouvez donc dire que j'ai vu la remise des diplômes sous tous les angles. But whether as a graduate or parent or chancellor, the occasion remains for me a richly deserved celebration of hard work, commitment, sacrifice, and achievement. So bravo and well done to each and every member of the class of 2019. As Chancellor, my job description includes making a speech to you all today. It's a bit like writing an exam or making a class presentation. So I did what many of you may have done. I Googled best convention speeches. And I got 575,000 answers. But in the course of my research, I discovered that the best convocation speeches usually contain 3 elements: a bit of humor at the beginning, a personal anecdote or story, and some practical advice that may be useful to graduates. Now, I'm vain enough to think that I've already covered the humor part, my line about the dinosaurs. So let me move on to a personal anecdote. It's about my own grandfather, and although this story happened almost a century ago, I think it's still relevant to our world today. His name was Arthur Meehan. He served as the 9th Prime Minister of Canada, and his main political opponent was Wilfrid Laurier. In the early 20th century, they were leaders of rival federal parties. And as opposing political leaders, they sat across from each other in Parliament for over a decade. They were fierce rivals. So you could just imagine the bitter debates and the disagreements between them. So what did my grandfather have to say about Laurier? He said, and I quote, "There never was a man, not in my lifetime, from whom one could learn so much of the art of leadership as from Sir Wilfrid Laurier. One of the lamentations that I still indulge in is that I did not learn more from him." Aujourd'hui, je ne peux pas imaginer une telle déclaration venant de la plupart de nos politiciens ou même de nos politiciennes. For many, the definition of leadership today seems to have become associated with attributes we know only too well: shouting, name-calling, bullying, crass promotion, and belittling others in order to inflate one's own status. That seems a long way from what my grandfather called the art of leadership. Now, at this point, you might expect me to launch into a nostalgic reverie about the good old days. And to be honest, I'm sometimes tempted to look in the rearview mirror. But that is until I see leaders like Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister in New Zealand, who took enormous took enormous courage to face up to the great tragedy and turmoil that occurred in her country. Or Peter Bevan Baker, the leader of Prince Edward Island's Green Party, and now the leader of the province's official opposition. He's someone who says he's interested in ideas as much as partisan politics, and his policies extend well beyond just environmental issues. When we talk about leadership today, we automatically think about political leaders, high-profile corporate executives, or personalities. But the truth is, the real art of leadership often begins quietly with individual acts of conviction. I think of Eric Molson, a former Chancellor of Concordia University, who put it so well. And he said, if you want to be a leader, if you dream of making the world a better place, then it is your strong values that will be your beacon. And I really don't have to look far to see some inspiring examples right here at our university. I think of Daniel Doran and Rudy Cabrera from McGill. They're both reservists in the armed forces, and both helped with relief efforts during the spring flooding in Quebec. I think of students like Adriana Sibe, a committed advocate for students of color on campus, and Christelle Tisono, the president of the Black Students Network, both working towards equity and inclusion within the McGill community. And I think of Milton Calderon Donifer and Sanchit Gupta, students and co-founders of a volunteer organization called Meal Care. Thanks to their efforts and a whole team of fellow McGill students, Meal Care diverts surplus food from cafeterias and other vendors at the university that would otherwise go to waste, and instead donates the food to local homeless shelters and soup kitchens. But most of all, I think of you here today, you, the members of the class of 2019. You already have the unique education and experience that comes as a graduate of McGill. You've distinguished yourself in your field of study. You've worked across disciplines and diverse areas. You're engaged, connected, and forthright, not just here on campus, but in the community. And most of all, you have the compassion, conviction, and courage to apply everything you've learned over the past years to the world we live in. And spoiler alert, we really do need your leadership, now more than ever. Continuez donc à trouver des moyens d'inspirer les autres et de remettre en question le statu quo. Agissez en fonction de vos idées et de vos croyances. Écoutez les opinions différentes et des avis divergents. Aspirez à être des leaders, mais dirigez avec des esprits ouverts et des cœurs ouverts. Et restez en contact avec McGill et revenez ici en tant que mentor auprès de la prochaine génération d'étudiants. And wherever you go in the world, this will always be your home, and we'll always cheer your successes and your accomplishments. So stay in touch, not just today, but throughout your journey as a McGill graduate and a true leader in your community, your country, and your world. I hope this day is both a joyous ending and an auspicious beginning for you all. Merci et bonne chance. I now invite Professor Suzanne Fortier, Principal and Vice Chancellor of McGill, to address the audience. Professor Fortier.
Bienvenue à nos diplômés de 2019. Welcome, our graduates of 2019. I'm thrilled to be here today, joined by our Chancellor, the Chair of our Board, our governors, our distinguished honorary degree recipient, special guests and esteemed colleagues, and of course, your families and your friends. Nous sommes tous réunis ici pour vous dire à quel point nous sommes fiers de vous. We are so proud of you. Congratulations. As I was thinking about this day, one word came to mind: return. Now, you may find it a bit strange since you haven't left yet, but I was thinking of the word return as it is used in the acronym ROI, Return on Investment. This is an acronym that is used in business most of the time, and it's usually referring to financials, investment, and returns. Now, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about the personal investments we make and the return we get. And this is a very good time to think about your investments over the last several years at McGill. As your name is called, and as you walk across the stage, you should celebrate this very concrete return that you are receiving on your hard work, your resilience, and your perseverance. But this is just the beginning. The investment you've made, not only in your studies, but also in building lasting friendships, in collaborating with colleagues, in contributing to your community, and in excelling outside of your academic activities, will benefit for you throughout your life. Of course, you were not alone. Many other people have invested too, so that you would reach this day. Your parents, your friends, professors, librarians, staff, all of them were there to support you. And so let's give them a big round of applause. There's another kind of return I'd like to talk about. The acronym is ROL. I have to say I had no clue what it meant until I attended a class in our MBA program here. ROL stands for Return on Luck. Now, of course, we know that life brings us many unexpected turns, good and bad, turns that are out of our control, of our grasp. We call it luck. What we do with our good luck, how we benefit from it, and more importantly, how we share it so that others benefits too, in many ways define the course of our lives and the impact we'll have on the world. There's one person who put that in a very compelling way, and that's Dr. Joanne Liu. As you may know, Dr. Liu is the president of Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders. Dr. Liu would be a person who'd say that she's had good luck in her life, the good luck of being born in this country, the good luck of being able to achieve her dream and become a medical doctor. And she's sharing that luck with others. Médecins Sans Frontières, as you know, delivers medical care to people in danger, wherever they may be. And Dr. Liu said, I work with people who have no choice, and I believe we have to give them our best precisely for this reason, because they have no choice. I don't pick, I don't take, I just give the best I can. And finally, one last return I'd like to mention. So I got inspired by my class, and I thought, well, I'll try my hand at creating a new acronym. I call it ROR. It stands for Return on Respect. I believe that although it may not always be obvious, it always pays off immensely to respect all of those around us, no matter what. And as you build your future, please do remember this. Every human being deserves respect, and every one of us should give others respect. J'espère qu'en quittant McGill, vous vous souviendrez de tout ce que vous avez appris ici et que vous le mettrez en pratique, non seulement afin de façonner un monde meilleur pour vous, mais pour la planète tout entière. Today, you joined the global network of McGill graduates, a network of people who've had immense contribution, have made immense contribution to our society. And as we prepare to celebrate our 200th anniversary, together, let's dream about all we'll accomplish in our third century. So please, do return to your alma mater. Congratulations, félicitations.
Merci, Madame la Principale. McGill is honored today to celebrate the achievements of Mr. Michael Harris, and I'd ask Professor Antonia Maioni, Dean of the Faculty of Arts, to present our distinguished guest so that he may have conferred upon him the highest recognition that it is within the power of this university to grant. And I ask Mr. Harris to join me at center stage for the presentation of the honorary degree.
Mr. Chancellor, Michael Harris has made a lifetime commitment to the Canadian literary scene, having a profound impact on the development of poetry in Canada. Born in Glasgow, Scotland, Michael Harris has lived most of his life in Montreal. He attained his undergraduate degree at Sir George Williams University, which merged with Loyola College in 1974 to form Concordia University. It was at Concordia that Mr. Harris received his master's degree. He taught creative writing at McGill University and Concordia University, as well as literature and poetry at Dawson College. His first book of poems, entitled Poems from Ritual, was published in 1967. Ainsi donc s'est amorcée une carrière de 50 ans en poésie, pendant laquelle Michael Harris a contribué de manière notable au rayonnement de la poésie canadienne à l'échelle mondiale. Auteur de plusieurs recueils de poèmes, notamment Sparks, Grace, In Transit, Circus et plus récemment The Gamekeeper, publié en 2017. M. Harris a en outre traduit les œuvres poétiques de Marie-Claire Blais. C'est grâce à lui que les anglophones du Québec peuvent apprécier les poèmes de cette écrivaine québécoise. Sa version, publiée en 1984, figurait parmi les finalistes pour l'obtention du prix de traduction littéraire John Glasgow. In addition, Michael Harris has published reflections on poetry and its place and importance in our society. He has worked tirelessly and selflessly to edit the poetic works of other poets, encompassing over 60 books, helping with their publication. Several of those works were translated from French, and many were shortlisted for or won literary prizes. He has never accepted remuneration, preferring to leave funds to support the publication of new works. He was the founding editor of the Signal Editions poetry series of Véhicule Presse in Montreal from 1981 until 2001, which to date has produced nearly 120 titles. Michael Harris won the CBC Literary Competition in poetry twice, including first prize for poetry in 1988 with his winning entry, Spring Descending. His work Circus, published in 2010, was nominated for the Governor General's Award and shortlisted for the Quebec Writers Federation's A.M. Klein Prize for Poetry. Mr. Harris has taught generations of students and mentored dozens of younger poets. A firm believer that the best poetry involves performance, he has also devoted much of time and effort to poetry readings in Canada and around the world. Michael Harris's many accomplishments, literary, teaching, mentorship, and community service have established him as an important and long-standing contributor to the expansion of Canadian poetry. Mr. Chancellor, I present to you Michael Harris so that you may confer upon him the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
I now invite McGill's most recent graduate, Dr. Michael Harris, to address convocation. Dr. Harris.
There's a small trick I'm about to perform, which is that I have to hook this into a shirt button or else I die. Oh, another small trick. Chancellor Meehan, Principal and Vice Chancellor Fortier, Mr. Panda, Chair of the Board of Governors, members of the Platform Party, proud parents and guests, and most of all, the graduating class of 2019. Now, the more perspicacious people in the graduating class will know what that word means. The more perspicacious among you will perhaps recognize that that was a scripted, formal introduction to these proceedings. As an editor, my inclination would be to change the intro to something like, "Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Suzanne, Ram, folks. Welcome to the 2019 Arts edition of McGill's Got Talent." I do admit that that lacks a little of the gravitas appropriate to this occasion. It has taken all of us years of hard work to get to this place. So I'd have to go back and come up with something a little more elegant. I see that I've just put two instances of using, quote, that, twice in this paragraph. That's just downright clumsy. That I've even made this observation evidently lands me on the spectrum of the obsessive-compulsive, which condition, you will find, is a useful tool in the makeup of any editor, poet, or literary citizen. Now, I was given this task last November, traditionally to deliver some words of wisdom and Godspeed you on your way, or at least to offer some wellness suggestions for those of you with academic PTSD. But I'm not really wise enough. I'm only 75. I had asked head office here to wait until my centenary, by which time I expect to have generated some wisdom, but apparently they'd already printed the program. And as far as the PTSD goes, I'm not that kind of doctor. In the 7 months since I was told of this most welcome honor, all poets should get one of these, if not the degree itself, at least this outfit. Not one morning came without my waking up and composing a speech to accommodate the 5 to 7 minutes, please don't time this, that I have been allowed to address you. Not one of these little speeches seemed right. Now, in 7 months, you can do the math. That's over 200 speeches. And I'm not getting paid for this. This has been the story of my literary life. Why are they clapping? So I really can't recommend that any of you choose to follow this miserable path, in spite of the fact that the poets among you can't help it, and the literarily bent will probably have no choice. Speaking of money, unlike Robert B. Smith of Morehouse College, I don't have the $40 million to bail you out of your student debt. Sorry. If you are not familiar with that news item, Google it and be amazed. Many of you will be familiar with another two of the more viral commencement convocation life improvement addresses, which the Chancellor, had he kept on looking, would have found. Sorry, I just ad-libbed that. The first is by the wonderful Admiral William McRaven. which suggests, amongst other things, that when you arise in the morning, you might try making your bed. Accomplishing that task will apparently help you to accomplish any next task that needs accomplishing. Best not to start dreaming up speeches when you wake up. I have firsthand knowledge that that task will interfere with the affirmation task. Okay, I don't make my bed, but a second piece of advice is from one of our own McGillians, McGillites, folks from here. The abiding controversy in human form, Professor Jordan B. Peterson, who takes the notion of self-improvement to the next level, suggesting that one should clean up one's room. Now, both of these bromides are extensively explicated by their respective authors, which explications you can admire by Googling them on YouTube, Wikipedia, or by calling them directly and personally on their cell phones. If you are still at that stage of social and intellectual maturation wherein you need to be reminded of these domestic functions, even as effective metaphors for your broader development, it may be that you need to stick around here for at least one more academic term to up your game, with the one large bonus that you'll avoid the inconvenience of having to earn a living. If you are a neat freak, none of this advice matters. If you're endemically messy, none of this will matter either, as you're likely to be messy for life. So, sorry, no wisdom, but perhaps a little knowledge of a practical nature. In the 20-odd years I edited for the Signal Editions poetry imprint of Montreal's Véhicule Press, may I offer a tip of my hat here to the publishers, Nancy Morelli and Simon Dardick. We received some 3,000 manuscripts everybody in Canada writes, it seems. I was permitted to edit and see through to publication over 50 books written by about 30 poets. The odds of getting published, you don't need your calculator for this, are 100 to 1. This also means that 2,970 people considered the press's rejections woefully wrong-headed, uninformed, or just downright stupid. Most unfortunately, many of these folk turned out to be literary critics, editors of periodicals and competing presses, judges of poetry competitions, and arts grant agencies and frontline interviewers for academic posts. Oh well. And I'm certain that I misread any number of worthy manuscripts, although I'm not alone in my misjudgments. When Eric Blair, I'm sure you know this story, submitted a manuscript dealing with how kitchens functioned in London and Paris, T.S. Eliot turned it down. By doing so, he also eschewed the opportunity to publish Blair's later books, namely Animal Farm and 1984, amongst others. As George Orwell, Blair's Down and Out in Paris and London has also done pretty well over the years, as have all of his other books. Neither are the literary folk always right. One writer wrote this of Joyce's Ulysses: I can't do the accent, and I'm appropriating this terribly, I apologize. I finished Ulysses and think it a misfire. The book is diffuse, it is brackish, it is underbred, not only in the obvious sense, but in the literary sense. A first-rate writer, respects writing too much to be tricky. That was Virginia Woolf. But that's why I apologize for the accent. I never heard her speak, actually. By all means, enter the fray of poetry and writing, reviewing and judging, publishing and teaching, but with at least some notion of the endemic, unsettling uncertainty of it all. One last thought to leave you with. My generation inherited a world that was recovering from a world war. Although we've been involved with other difficult conflicts, we Canadians have not had to endure that kind of cataclysm on our own soil in recent history. We should be extraordinarily grateful for that. There is much else we have yet to deal with, but you don't need the likes of me to tell you what ails us. Write, as indeed you must. Fix what you can in our rather wobbly world. Bravo, and the very best of luck.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. No wisdom, you say. On the contrary, I think that your address was full of pithy insights and a good dose of humor, which does much to enliven the rather formalistic proceedings at convocation. So bravo to you. We'll now proceed with the conferral of academic degrees. Professor Christopher Manfredi, Provost and Vice Principal Academic, will begin the formal proceedings. Professor Manfredi.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I am pleased to invite students graduating from the Faculty of Arts for the conferral of degrees. This is a truly joyous event in the cycle of a university's life, particularly at McGill, where we have such talented and accomplished students. Each student crossing the stage will be greeted by the Chancellor, the Principal, or the Chair of the Board of Governors. Students receiving their first degree shall remove their mortarboard or hat. At center stage, they will be symbolically capped, signaling ceremonially the conferral of the degree. Students who have already earned a university degree keep their mortarboard on and will be congratulated by a tap on the shoulder. The parchment or degree itself is given to students after they have a photo taken and leave the stage. You may see some students wearing red or white scarves. All self-identifying Indigenous students, First Nations, Inuit, and Métis, are entitled to wear graduation scarves at convocation, in the community, and at any and all future McGill events that they attend. The red scarf is for those receiving a degree, and white for those getting a diploma or certificate. The feather has two meanings: respect for the person and the mark of an amazing or special event. The Confederacy belt signifies attachment to and respect for the land on which we live, and the turtle symbolizes the inclusiveness of all nations and respect for diversity. It is fitting that we recognize our Indigenous graduates in this way, just as we recognize that McGill University is on land which long served as a site of meeting and exchange amongst Indigenous peoples, including the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe nations. We acknowledge and thank the diverse Indigenous people whose presence has enriched this territory on which peoples of the world now gather. En vertu des pouvoirs qui me sont conférés par le Sénat de McGill, je déclare que les candidats dont le nom figure sur la liste officielle des diplômés de l'université, qu'ils soient présents ou absents, ont satisfait aux exigences de leur grade, diplôme ou certificat respectif. By virtue of the powers conferred upon me by McGill Senate, I declare that the candidates whose names appear on the university's official list of graduates, whether they be present or absent, have satisfied the requirements for their respective degrees, diplomas, or certificates. By tradition at McGill, we begin with students receiving graduate degrees, followed by students obtaining undergraduate degrees. I now invite Professor Emeritus Bruce Shore to present the graduates and Professor Antonia Maioni, Dean of the Faculty of Arts, to congratulate all graduating students. Congratulations, class of 2019. Félicitations.
For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Art History, Riley Caitlin Bishop Stahl. Josie. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in English, Josie Torres Barth. Sarah Elizabeth Stunden. Okay. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in French, Miruna Elena Krasionescu. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in German Studies, Catherine Maria Spiller. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in History, Colin Brett Gilmore. Jeanette Francesca Graven. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Islamic Studies, Yasmin Bader. Nasser Dumaria. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Linguistics, Marzia Sapida Mortazavinia. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Religious Studies, Jingjing Li. For the degree of Master of Arts in English, Hedya Burgess Kamranpour. Jasmine Boparai. Thank you. Amy Melissa Hemond. Alice Marie Hinchliff. Lilika Kukiela. Thank you. Ashton Marie Muka. Bridget Eve Walsh. For the degree of Master of Arts in French, Frédéric Doré. René Philippe Hainaut. Myriam Vincent. For the degree of Master of Arts in History, Kelsey Ray Hasty. Lauren Isabel Tolbert. Olivier Péloquin. Nuria Puri. For the degree of Master of Arts in Islamic Studies, Kosar Bukhari. For the degree of Master of Arts in Linguistics, Tat Fei Yao. For the degree of Master of Arts in Religious Studies, Adam Justin Smith. Thank you. For the degree of Master of Sacred Theology, Prudence Siri Neba. Thank you. Last name? Hoff. Thank you. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in African Studies, Sally Jean Diana Huff, first-class joint honors in African Studies, first-class joint honors in World Islamic and Middle East Studies, and Dean's Honor List. Thank you. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Art History, Stefana Dena Arvinte, first-class honors. Nina Chebelnik. Hannah Rose Deskin, first-class honors in Art History and the W.O. Judkins Memorial Prize in Art History. Chloe? Chloe Bried de Clouseau. Mire Eroglu, first-class honors, the Judy Badas Award in Art History. Marie-Pierre Frigon. Casey Ginny Gutierrez Rojas, distinction, first-class joint honors, art history, and langue et littérature française, the Paula Bonato Memorial Prize. Anya Celeste Kowalchuk. Esther Laforge with distinction, first-class joint honors with langue et littérature française. Thank you. Virginia Cole Levy. Thank you. Joshua Ricardo Marcassini. Okay. Okay. Gabrielle Marcuzzi Harry, first-class honors, art history, the W.O. Judkins Memorial Prize, and Dean's Honor List. Clotilde Monroe. Last name Miles? Sophie Marisol Miles. Casey Ann Osborne. Félix Pard. Charlotte Breer Pearlstone. Madeleine Violette Petit. Okay, that's fine. Catriona Reed. Emma Renault. Marie-Caroline Dorothée Roussel. Last name Sabet? Yasmine Bahere Sabet. Sophia Irene with Marguerite Basia Katya Schraman with distinction and first-class honors in art history. Lauren Simpson Torrey. Rachel Vincent Clark. Kirsten Diane Wesselow. Alisa Zilberstein. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Canadian Studies, Olivia Ann Karagian. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Classics, Andriane Rita Asabe. Jordan Noah Kruger with distinction. Giancarlo Antonio Martini. Anthony Pavoni, first class honors in classics, the Henry Chapman Medal, the Paul F. McCullough Prize in Ancient Greek, Dean's Honor List. Jeanne Savard-Derry, Dean's Honor List. Rachel May Sutherland, Dean's Honor List. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Computer Science, Jung Young An. Ryan Wayne Bass. Yue Dong with distinction. Tanner des Lauriers Ducharme. Lian Ni Hun. Chris Giorgio Issa. Sion Kim, Dean's Honor List. Taubenblatt or Taubenblatt? Thank you. Benjamin Michael Taubenblatt. Zed Yaya with distinction. Tony Chen Yin with distinction. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in East Asian Studies, Nane Andreasian. Marine Maria Germaine Christine Astrou. Thank you. Carlotta Schmidt Esposito. Liane Fortin Lachaine. Jacob Giro. Erica May Gill. Anne Yeji Ha. Emily Rose Jarjour with distinction and first-class honors in East Asian Studies. Is that Kasich or Kasich? Kasich? Gotcha. Jack Kasich. Amy Cara Lightburn. Si Hui Liu with distinction. Lan Lo. Hei Lang Park with distinction. Charlotte Tan, distinction. Last name is it Warren or Warren? Elise Warren. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics, Luca Kuhn von Burgsdorf with distinction. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in English, Tara Catherine Allen Flanagan with distinction. Oops, thank you. John Clement Ball, distinction and first-class honors in English. Kathleen Hannah Beach. Go ahead. Berger? Andrew David Berger. Sophia Bernice Blankenhorn. Middle name is Janice. Anne Laurel Janice Boisvert, honors English and distinction. Alma Baudette de Montplaisir. Naomi Juliette Bouvresse. Is that last name Bregale? Thank you. Elizabeth Yvonne Michelle Bregale. Butt or boot? Thank you. Boris Butt. Hallelujah Cabrera. Hallelujah Cabrera. Celine Chami. Siquier. Lucas Siquier. Matthew Cloutier, distinction. Carolyn? Carolyn Patricia Curry. Benevente? Kenzia Dali Benevente, German Embassy Prize. Benjamin? Benjamin Yves-Jacques Delavaux. Megri Dumanian. Just one, you keep one. There we go. Nora Duffy, distinction. First name Mel? Thank you. Mel Christiane Yuko Duma. Thank you. Lauren Jane Eastwood. Emily Farmer, Honors English. Emily Elizabeth Ferguson. Mary Teresa Frawley Elson. Right here. Don't go far. Gaidov. Panayot Gaidov. Annika June Gale. Annika June Gale. Is that Gauze? Thank you. Julia Rachel Gauze, distinction and the Betty Workman Yaffe Prize in Yiddish. That Gilbert or Gilbert? Gilbert. Sabine Gilbert, Dean's Honor List. Geneva? Geneva Marianne Gleason, distinction. Gosling? Gosling? Evelyn Gessling. Thank you. Jacob Daniel Goldberg. Emmanuel Gourrier. Jolie, thank you. Quinn Jolie Howman. Xiao Fan Hernan, First Class Joint Honors, English and Hispanic Studies, the Victory Memorial Prize, and Dean's Honor List. Sasha May Hubener, Distinction and the Alan A. Lang Essay Award. Siobhan Kaylee Keneally. Alyssa Kim. Melinda Kendrichuk, distinction. Audrey Chi Swen Lai. Lau or Low? Thank you. Rianne Lau, Honors English. Just one for you. Thank you. Come over here. Ready to go? Alexandra Ning Er Lee. Beryl Yu. Beryl Yu. Thank you. Carolyn. Caroline Elizabeth McCarry. Manson, English. Natalie Ann Manson. Sarah or Sarah? Sarah Maxwell. Thank you. Kaylee Ryland McDonald. Thank you. Joan Catherine Meyer, Dean's Honor List. Taylor Kimberly Mitchell, Distinction and First Class Honors in English. Thank you. Hannah Bellany Moore, Distinction. Namaki? Vale Namaki with distinction. Rachel? Rachel Andrea Nashman. Eric Nielsen Noble Marks, First Class Honors and Dean's Honor List. Osler or Osler? Thank you. Charles Edmund Osler. Samantha Marie Papas. Lopez, last name? Kelly Ann Pimentel Lopez. Greta or Greta? Greta Duval Rainbow. Last name Rajan? Maya Jade? Maya Jade Rajan. Okay, this happens. There's often with that. Nicolas Renfrey Lamar. Kennedy Rook. Thank you. Thea Rumbas. Thank you very much. Sakai. Kazuho Sakai. Thank you. Dante Angela May Sally. Luke Soden Sarabia, distinction. Anissa Amber Shaw. One for me, one for you. Michael Shaw. Helena or Helena? Ellie Slavich. Stragovitz? Stragovich. Hannah Miriam Stragovich. Go ahead. Hannah Nasia Leighton Sroor. Julia Tarasoff. Thank you. Vivian Trang. You keep one. Frederick Tsang. Thank you. Stephanie Joy Tuck. Liz Danielle Wagner, Dean's Honor List. Kelly Sarah Wallace. Nicholas Waters, Distinction and First Class Honors in English. Wait till I finish the list, okay? Wait a minute. Sophie Elizabeth Weiler, the Corinne Fay Tabak Memorial Prize in English Literature, First Class Honors in English, the Lionel Shapiro Award for Achievement in English, the Shakespeare Gold Medal, and Dean's Honor List. Are there any left? Are there any awards left? Katerina Sol Yabar. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Gender, Sexuality, Feminist, and Social Justice Studies, Emma Nicole Chambers, Distinction First Class Honors. I keep one, you keep one. Cheryl Huitzing Chu. Thank you. Emma Jane Clark, Dean's Honor List. Thank you. Selig? Middle name is Zia? Thank you. Flynn Zaya Gotzelig. Freya Graziani. Freya Olivia Graziani, Joint Honors in Gender, Sexuality, Feminist, and Social Justice Studies and History. Dominique Chloé Grégoire, First Class Honors, the Peta Tancred Prize, and Dean's Honor List. Georgia Sky Huggan. Catherine Clarissa Jeffrey, First Class Honors. Thank you. Benjamin Lewis Kirschbaum, Distinction and First Class Honors. Thank you. Emily Fitzgerald Levine, Distinction. Maya Ina Smith, Distinction. Kyle Alexander Stewart. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in German Studies, Emmanuelle Victoria Eboe, Distinction, First Class Joint Honors with Political Science and the Research Group on Constitutional Studies Prize, and the Saul and Frida Frankel Prize. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Hispanic Studies, Sarah Elizabeth Cole, Distinction and the Spanish Embassy Book Prize. Is that Rachel? Okay. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in History, Rachel Almuli, Honors in History. Luke Riley Anderson. Oui. Gabrielle Marie Archambault. That's okay. Brianna Beth Artis Bernhardt, Distinction and First Class Honors. Thank you. Last name Awe? Awe, thank you. Emma Nicole Awe, Joint Honors with Political Science. Bannon? Mitchell Bannon. Excuse me. Barad? Thank you. Gordon E. Barad. En français? Samuel Frédéric Bernard. Last name Bitan? Jordan Raphael Bitan, Distinction and First Class Honors. Thank you. Maeve? Maeve Elizabeth Bottom, Distinction, First Class Joint Honors, History and Political Science. Jack Callahan, the C.C. Bailey Prize, the First Class Honors in History and Dean's Honor List. Benjamin Noah Cantor Adams, First Class Honors and Dean's Honor List. Emma Alessandra Carr, Distinction. Laura Klein, First Class Honors, Dean's Honor List. Emma Christina Cornelius, Dean's Honor List. Jacob James Cruikshank. Saskia Elizabeth L. DeVries, Distinction. William Henry Dennis, Dean's Honor List. Deverell? Flora Sophia Deverell, Distinction. Hunyok Ando. Joaquim Dos Santos. Melissa Duquefe. Isabella Grace Farrow. Middle name for you? You're happy with that. Brendan Thorger Fitzgibbon, First Class Honors. James Flanagan. Thank you. Gina Heng Feng, Distinction and First Class Joint Honors with International Development Studies. Juliana Garofalo, Dean's Honor List. Alexander James Gaskell.
Jenna Sellers.
Yes, I would have known that. I would have known that. Yeah. Yorgos Zachary Janiselis, Honors History. Gilbert? Gilbert, thank you. Sophie Marianne Gilbert. Alexander Noah Goldman. Sasha Alexander Gordon, Honors History. Thank you. Elizabeth Grace Greco. Ilya Gramavikov, First Class Honors. Max Edward Harrington, Honors History. Ella Frances Grace Hartsoe, Distinction and First Class Joint Honors, Classics and History. Shaden Etuf Frankel, Distinction and First Class Joint Honors, History, Political Science. Simran Hochandani. Thank you. Reiko Inoue.
Just first last name, please.
Okay. Alexander Johnson. Erin Shireshi Kenna, Distinction and First Class Honors. Kirmer? Johann? Johann Maximilian Kirmer. Annalise Nicole Klunder. Linnea Sarah Kornhauser, Distinction and First Class Honors. Emma Alexandra Kowalchuk Reed. Wing Si Vinci Kwong. Robin Sujung Lee. Connor Andrew Lowe. Mahajan? Sonia Mahajan. Sorry? Oui, oui. Émilie Jeanne Marsadon. Marsaudon. Martin. Thank you. Arthur Jack Martin, Honors History. Simone Martineau, Dean's Honor List. Gabriel. Keep going. Gabriel Ashley Martz. Jessica Jensen Mitchell, First Class Honors in History and in Russian. Abby Grace Monroe. Etienne Poirier, First Class Joint Honors History, Langue et Littérature Française, and Dean's Honor List. Merci. Theodore Poisson McFarlane. Phoebe Catherine Price, Distinction. Thank you. Olivia Pucella. Rao. Denise Rao. James Matthew Robson. What's with these easy names? Erin Rose, Honors History. Roy or Roy? Thank you. Sydney Morgan McCallum Roy. Victor Alejandro Sanchez. Jacob Daniel Shapiro, Dean's Honor List. Elliot Marshall Sinclair. Gabriela Soto Grustilina. Ella Starkman-Hines with distinction. Dominica Maria Tang. Cameron Alexander Tardif, first class honors in history. Amy Tremblay. Isaiah Malcolm Xavier Trotman, Dean's Honor List. Anthi Tsobu with distinction. Amanda Marlene Warner, Dean's Honor List. Daniel Alexander Whitehouse, Dean's Honor List. Amelia Williams, distinction. Valerie Wood. Olivia Wright. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Langue et Littérature Française, Juliette Jennifer Beeson, distinction and first class honors. Mackenzie Jane Bleho, first class joint honors in Canadian Studies, the Norman Prentice Award and Dean's Honor List. Daphne Cousson, honors. Annie Deng, distinction and first class honors. Léa Gagnon. Alisa Geldieva. Maude Mathieu Lessard, distinction and first class honors. Lauriane Rouleau-Delage, honors. Olivier Séguin-Bro, first class honors, prize of the Ambassador of Switzerland in Canada for French, and the Dean's Honor List. Baranes? For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Latin American Studies, Samuel Liam Baranes. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Arts, Danielle Rose Nisker. Emma Schilling. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Linguistics, Saul Ehrlich Bacher, distinction. Berceau. Élise Blandine Berceau. Elsie Chan. Megan Deegan with distinction. Megan Patricia Dimmler. Sarah Nicole Fernandez. Oriana Rafaela Goslan. Marin Catherine Hamilton, Dean's Honor List. Yunbi Jang. Yana Artuvna Kim. Melissa Madison Langley. Kaylee Michelle Miller, first class honors, linguistics. Isabella Strulia Nikolaidis. Benjamin Thaddeus Oldham, distinction and first class honors. Haley Brooke Ostriga, first class honors. Damaris Lena Oxman. Connor John Finnick, Dean's Honor List. Catherine Ann Slatterly. Claire Sayin Sue, Distinction and First Class Honors. Thank you. Hi. Mayor Maya. Thank you. Maya Rebecca Taylor. Tammy Waters. No. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics, Benjamin William Ross Attal. Cassandra Darlene Beaton with distinction. Is that Tirashni Bulletin. David Anthony Dorazio. David Draguta, Honors Mathematics. Erin Rose Dwyer. McDonough? Okay. Harrison James McDonough. Sol. Yunhyum Sol, distinction. John James Nicholas Stark. Very close. Tendren in English? Thomas Tendren, First Class Honors. Magat, first name? Magat Chaikovich Wade. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics and Computer Science, Gabriel Nicholas Downs, Distinction and First Class Honors. Jinro Wang. Thank you. Ziki Wu. First name? For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Music, Sehyun Kim. Kelly Koo with distinction. Thank you. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy, Noah Edelman Subataru with distinction. Keep one, you keep one. Thank you. Anika Cox Basavanich. Stefan James Davies, Honors Philosophy. Adil Ali Das Mohammed. Thank you. Haitham Farah, Distinction and First Class Joint Honors, Philosophy, World Islamic, and Middle East Studies. Augustus Montana Fisher. Thank you. Austin John Wells Freesoccer, First Class Honors in Philosophy and Dean's Honor List. Hosanna Gallia, Distinction, First Class Joint Honors with Philosophy. Philippe Gay. Cindy Lau. James William Lawrence, Distinction and First Class Honors. Heather Marina Lawson. Lee Ma. Vita Matsiaskaita, actually. Sorry, Vita, I did get it right the second time. August Nahas, and Vita had first class honors back there. Auguste Nahas, distinction and first class honors. Thank you. Gregory Light Osterhout. Isabella Ruth Panagrosso, honors philosophy. Pastore? Francesca? Francesca Pastore. Peter, thank you. Ethan Jonah Pather. Andrew Peterson. Penicha? Penichu? Romain? Romain Penichu. Polillo? Daniel Polillo, first class honors. Elvire Rales. Dalia Elvira Renzulo. Xavier? Xavier Robert Alfred Rule, distinction and first class joint honors with political science. Hannah Sasaoka Burns. Yinong Shi, distinction and first class honors. One for me, one for you. Catherine Simard? Okay. Catherine Simard. Thank you. Thank you. Corey John Stanky. Keenan Shunji Tanaka. Connor Ross Tanas, first class honors in philosophy, the Prince of Wales Gold Medal for mental and moral philosophy, and Dean's honor list. Matthew Gordon Traister with distinction. Wada? Nico Alessandra Wada. Nora Woodcock, first class joint honors with classics and philosophy, Dean's honor list. Sure, blank. Julian Workman Farrer in philosophy. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Psychology, is that Grondin? Victoria Grondin. Allegra Jaylan Candiotti. Dominic Sabino Piacenza. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Religious Studies, Emma Josephine Paddock, distinction and first class honors. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Software Engineering, Payman Yasmin Arson. Anita Assad. Olu? Manifleki Olu. Danielle Shmuel. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Women's Studies, Casey Lynn Campbell. Stay close. Okay. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in World Islamic and Middle East Studies, Omu Kulsum Jamada Abdul Rahman, joint honors with political science and distinction. Yasmin Abihana, first class joint honors with sociology and Dean's honor list. Michael Benjamin Duke. Fitchman. Joshua Maxwell Fitchman Goldberg, Dean's honor list. Zara Habib. Andrew Sandock, distinction and first class joint honors with international development studies. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in World Religions, Shannon Downey Cluzel, distinction in the Mary Mizek Award in Asian Religions. Katrina Kardash, the W.M. Birks Award and Dean's Honor List. Maya Lukes with distinction. Alana Kathleen Moore. Is that in French or Edith? Edith? Edith, thank you. For the degree of Bachelor of Theology, Edith Laura Arnott, the McGill Alumni Society Prize and Dean's Honor List. Jeffrey Peter Mackey Dunstead. Catherine Ann Parks. Gotcha. Rob Tyfair.
Thank you, Professor Shore, for an excellent job once again in reading all the graduates' names. I now invite Ms. Kulsum Jumada Abdul Rahman to say a few words on behalf of all graduating students as this year's valedictorian.
Okay, so McGill is located on unceded land that long served as a meeting place for the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe nations. We are thankful for being here, gathered today. Mr. Chancellor, members of the Platform Party, fellow graduates and guests. During our time here at McGill, everything wasn't always consistent. GPAs, they went up, they also went down. Attendance at ADM lectures were very questionable, to say the least, but the one consistent thing was the love and kindness with which McGill employees always met us graduates. I'm referring to the cafeteria workers, the maintenance man, the administrators in each department within the Faculty of Arts, as well as the security guards at McGill University. I have a little anecdote about Freddie from Morris Hall, who's the maintenance man. He would always make sure when he saw me to run to me and give me the biggest hug and smile, ask me how my day was going, and also offer me food from his fridge in his office. It was the kindest thing that always made me feel at home at McGill University. So, I'll be honest, I'm not standing here solely due to my own merit. I come from cultures that emphasize the importance of community. So yes, I'm standing here thanks to my own hard work, but also thanks to all of those who've helped me throughout my life. Be it our families, our classmates, or our professors, during our time here, we were not alone. So I want us all to take a moment to think of all of those who've helped us on our journey to being here. Think about what it took to get you to this very seat. Now, I want you to think, now think about what some of these people look like. Your professor with the foreign origins or accent that you sought out for a letter of recommendation, your Muslim or Jewish TA that you spent countless hours with, especially the day before the final to understand a difficult course material that you would never understand in time for the exam, but you still tried. Your darker or lighter complexion classmate that challenged you academically in a conference and allowed you to grow, or the immigrant maintenance man with a degree that always ensured that the sidewalks were cleared of snow so we could all get to class safely. These people of various racial, ethnic and religious backgrounds, and even sexual orientation were instrumental to our success at this university. These people, however, are not simply means to an end. We do not get to benefit from their knowledge, their skills, and kindness, and once we reach our thresholds of success, forget about them. We've become accustomed to being self-centered in the world we live in. We see it in politics, in business, and at the most basic level in our day-to-day lives. But I hope that we can all help change that in some way. Class of 2019, if you take absolutely anything away from my speech, I want it to be that racialized people and religious minorities are not tools to be used for success or to claim diversity and inclusion. Okay, cool. They are not to be thought about only in celebratory moments like our convocation, but instead we must think of them when it's time to vote and some candidates' views threatened their ability to exist. We must think of them in the moments where they are advocating for institutional changes in university and in government, but most importantly, we must think of them in the moments where it does not benefit us and in those where it threatens our very own privilege. Now I want you to think about what you hope to accomplish with your brand new degree, how you want to affect change in the world. No matter the field we are entering, there will come a time where we all will be faced with a situation where we can help to support or advocate for the people who've helped us on our very own journeys. And I hope when that time comes, not one single graduate here today, including myself, thinks to themselves, oh, this doesn't concern me, or this isn't my fight to fight. But instead, I want us to think about all they have done for us and simply offer them the same courtesy by being proactive. So finally, those very expensive, but also very nice pieces of papers we are receiving today, our diplomas, I want it to be our marker of accountability to those very people. As we start this next chapter of our lives, remember that piece of paper as a commitment that you made to the community that got you here. And be mindful of the impact you leave on the world through what you do with it. In the words of famed philosopher and writer Frantz Fanon, every generation must discover its mission, fulfill it, betray it, in relative opacity. I've presented you with one of ours. Hopefully, we can make an effective change. Congrats, we made it.
Thank you, Ms. Abdul-Rahman. Will the graduating class please stand? My capacity as Chancellor of McGill University, I declare and confirm that each of you is now entitled to the distinction of the degree, diploma, or certificate that has been conferred upon you, with all the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities that are pertinent thereto. À titre de chancelier de l'Université McGill, je déclare et confirme que chacun de vous a maintenant le droit à la distinction de grade, diplôme ou certificat qui vous a été conféré, avec tous les honneurs, droits, privilèges et responsabilités qui y sont rattachés. Félicitations, congratulations. The Secretary General, Ms. Edita Rogovska, will now make a few closing remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. In closing, I'd like to leave you with a few words from the late Stanley Frost, a McGill professor, administrator, and historian who in his work on the history of McGill says the following: "Traditions are hard to come by, but once established, they are remarkably enduring. The university has been fortunate that the tradition was early established that McGill is not merely an institution, but a community in which bonds of affection are strongly woven so that a sense of belonging to McGill need not end with graduation, but can be a lifelong experience." J'espère donc que les liens d'amitié que vous avez tissés à McGill seront avec vous longtemps et feront partie de ce que vous ferez, tant au niveau personnel que professionnel, que ce soit ici à Montréal, au Canada ou ailleurs dans le monde. En vous souhaitant le meilleur des succès, je vous dis bonne chance et félicitations.
To conclude this ceremony, join Dr. Tracy Smith-Bassett in the singing of our national anthem.